Michelangelo Maurice de Caravaggio is the artist we're looking at today, or better known as Caravaggio. It's not the Michelangelo that you might think. This artist is an Italian artist who spent most of his life in Rome. He was born in 1571, so he was from the Baroque art period. His artwork can be seen here by having very dark shadows. Everything is very much in the foreground, and the light is really interacting with the figures in the painting. His paintings would usually only take him 2 weeks, which is pretty quick for an artist. He is also known for a lot of his still life paintings. Still lives are wherever you set up fruit, whatever inanimate object or object that isn't alive. Look at it and then draw it from there. So if he set this up and then painted it, look how real everything looks by creating shadow and by creating highlights. He also overlaps a bunch of the objects in there. The painting that we're going to focus on is this fruit basket, where we're going to put grapes, we're going to put apples, maybe a pear and a lemon, and ours with some leaves. So our fruit basket is going to look very real. However, for our background, we're going to be using Zentangles. Zentangles are different designs that you use to feel relaxed or zen, like my background on my example. Yours does not have to be the exact same patterns as mine whatsoever. You can look up different Zentangle patterns if you like, but what we want to focus on is creating that huge contrast in the background of that black and white, and then how realistic it is in the foreground with our fruit basket and our table. So really focus on, when you do that, your shading and highlights and where your light is coming from. I cannot wait to see these. Try your best with it, make it your own, and just have fun. For your Caravaggio still life painting, I'm using watercolors for this. And then for our background, when we give it a modern feel of the Zentangles, I'm going to just use a Sharpie. It's up to you how you want to do yours, if you want to use colored pencils, crayons, what have you. First thing we're going to do is start with the basket. So like Caravaggio did, he didn't put it straight on center. He kind of put it off to the side a little bit. So we kind of come in and then curve it out in a nice big smiley face. So what goes one way, we do the other. I'm going to add my table. Now it's up to you if you want this to be a woven basket, or if you want it to be however else. It's all up to you. Let's see what this, if I can make this look woven. I think this one would be on top. Nope. On top of that one. So I'm just going to do some lines this way, and then some lines this way. Kind of play with it, see what you like for yours. This time I'm just going to have them kind of come around. I might have spent way too much time trying to make that pattern. Now, to fill your basket with fruit, if you have fruit at home, that's probably going to be your best option on how to make it look the most real. But if we're going more in the Caravaggio kind of feel, we're going to start by filling it with some apples. So all I do is kind of a semicircle, so it looks like some's going out of the basket. And then we have a curved line and the stem. And I can add color to that to create dimension later. If I make some grapes, I want them to look like they're kind of behind that apple. So like I said, a still life is where you set up inanimate objects like this water bottle, like the fruit. Usually it's done with fruit and like jugs. And then you look at it and you draw what you see. So maybe I have another kind of grape coming down, another one behind. I have one kind of hanging off. We're going to add any other fruit that you like. I'm going to add a lemon here, or veggies, whatever floats your boat. So I have a little lemon. I'll add detail to that later. Maybe I have a leaf coming up. I don't know what type of leaf, I'm just kind of drawing it. Another apple. This time this one's facing this way. Maybe there's a leaf actually on that one. But just kind of fill your basket up with a bunch of different fruit. Maybe I have some more grapes back here behind everything. And then I'm going to have kind of this, like Caravaggio, kind of had this stick looking thing coming up with some leaves coming off of it, is how he set his up. So that's behind the apple. It needs to lean against something. I'm going to put like a pear. Let's make that a pear. Sorry, thinking about all these different fruits. You put, like I said, whatever you want in yours. Maybe this leaf kind of comes up and around. And bends. Play with it a little bit. If this side's looking a little too busy, maybe you need to add a couple more things on the other side. It's your picture. It's your still life take on Caravaggio's. I feel like it's too busy over here. So let's add a leaf on this side. Maybe there's the vein. But basically we want to make it look like things are overlapping. That way when we go to add color, we're going to create that dimension as well. Now, everything looks very realistic in the foreground. Then in the background behind it, to really make this pop, we're going to create some contrast. So we create Zentangles in the background, and that like really harsh black and white is going to contrast this bright, beautiful, colorful basket of fruit that you have. Now I said for the Zentangles, I'm going to use a Sharpie or a black marker. So we're going to keep that background black and white. But I want what's in my foreground to still look real. So to do my Zentangles, you can look up different designs and patterns of it. I'm just going to break up my background. I don't want to trace these or else it's going to look a little too cartoony. So Zentangle, remember, it helps you feel nice and zen, makes you feel like we're all kinds of zen or relaxed. You'll see a lot of adult coloring books that now have Zentangles. So I'm just using different types of lines to cut this background up. Don't forget, you'd still have some over here. Then in each section, we're going to add patterns. So I'm going to do my background first. Then I will paint in my fruit. Okay? Like I said, color pencils, crayons, whatever you want to use, maybe pastels for your fruit. That's great. I'm going to fast forward mine so you can see it as I go. If you want to look at the end result, it is all up to you. This is all meant to have fun and really experiment with how you're contrasting everything in your picture.